This episode is brought to you by High Point Market. Welcome to the Design Dash podcast, your guide to designing a life you love. Join us as we explore the keys to living the life you want without compromise.
Welcome back to the Design Dash podcast. I'm Laura Umansky, your co-host, here with Melissa Grove.
Hello.
And today we are continuing with our one question series. And this week's question is coming up because we have this conversation a lot with people in our community and with just designers in my peer network. And that question is, as a designer, is there a big benefit to opening a storefront, to having a shop?
It's a big question.
It is a good question. And so this came up even this week inside our community. And so I thought that'd be a great place to kick off. So what do you think, Melissa? I mean, I can answer this from experience, but
Yeah, I think we should start with you on experience, because my first question is always going to be, why do you want to do it?
that's a good first question.
Yeah.
Why? Okay. So I can tell you from my experience why I did it. I mean, obviously it's fun. Like you're like, ooh, I'm going to open a little shop and it's going to be so cute. And I saw this space that I love and it's got so much character and charm and I can make it really beautiful and etc. Like there's that part, right? Like the excitement of having something new that's yours and you get to control the design of it.
The distraction.
Right. Maybe, depending on how you really look at it. So the reason I opened a storefront to start was because I wanted vendor accounts that would only open up to me if I had a brick and mortar retail store. So I wanted wholesale accounts. I wanted really good pricing. Even though I knew I was going to be an interior designer. So I opened my shop before or at the same time as I opened my studio. I had 0 clients, took out a loan. I found a tiny little space that was at the time relatively inexpensive, and opened my shop. And it was really because I wanted those wholesale accounts.
Yeah, that's a good reason.
Yeah. And now I feel like as a designer, that's different. That was 20 years ago. As a designer now, you have access to so many more vendor accounts than we did back then. So back then, it was almost necessary to have a storefront to be able to open up accounts with vendors and manufacturers.
Yeah.
You
So would
probably have,
you open a storefront now?
well, not now because I'm jaded, but if I was starting out now, yes, I would. Not just for the vendor wholesale relationships you can build, but for 2 other reasons. Well, one other overarching reason, marketing.
Okay.
Marketing. That is it. It is a marketing play. And so you've got to prepare to spend a ton of your time marketing the hell out of this retail store and your design services. So when I opened, it was on a main street in Houston. And it wasn't a walkable area, but Houston is a car city,
Oh, yeah.
right? Like it is, you're in your car. So it was on a very trafficked street. And so I had a lot of visibility. So it was a marketing play. I did not expect to make money on retail, and I didn't.
Yeah. The margins are
So that,
probably so thin.
well, and like I'm selling candles. How many candles do I have
Right.
to sell? But really, it was it was a play to show this is what my aesthetic looks like. It gave me it was validating. I wasn't going anywhere. So I wanted to attract clients and I wanted to be able to purchase wholesale. So I did both of those things. So for that reason, yes, it was a win for me. It lost money every single month. Yes, I know it sounds scary that I said you're going to lose money every month. Like that is a crazy thing to say. um, but you are selling your design services. So you're opening the storefront to introduce people to your aesthetic, to let them know you're there, and you also have your design services. So that is the primary purpose. Unless you just want to have a retail storefront and you want to be a huge retailer, that's a different conversation. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about interior designers that want to be a design firm and they want to start with a retail store. For me, that worked. And from a marketing perspective, like Melissa, what would you like if we had a retail store on a major street right now? What would you do with it from a marketing perspective?
Well, I mean, I think as uh, first of all, I want to address the fact that it's losing money. That might not be good for everybody. Like some people might not be able to
Well, let me
to
qualify
handle
that. It's
that.
not a ton. So,
Okay.
like you put your inventory in there. Your goal is not you're selling all of that inventory every month. It's not going to happen. That's not
Right.
realistic. So, let's say this, it's not losing money, but it's not making money. You're not
Okay.
making as much money in your retail store as you would be from your design services. It just doesn't it doesn't work that way. I didn't.
Yeah.
Like, put it this way, I'm designing an entire living room where I'm selling a living room's worth of furniture to one client. How often, if you have 1,000 square feet for a retail storefront, are you selling a living room's worth of furniture out of that? It's not like,
Right.
it's not even the same size as the living room. Like, it's not happening. So that's what I mean. Like, it's more, and this is going to sound gross, but we called it like the honey pot. It's like bringing people in that are going to be clients. It is not necessarily that I'm going to sell 10,000 candles in a month.
Right. But I think that's the marketing play, right? Like it's a client acquisition tool. And I think that if you
Right.
are selling very high-end things and luxurious products that align with you as a designer, you can really establish this identity, I think, as a tastemaker that's more tangible than just living in Instagram. You know, people can come to your shop now and it gives them a way to like a low commitment way to engage with you, you know,
Yep.
and to kind of figure out what you're all about. And I think it's a probably a really long lead time in most instances, but I think there might be some instances where somebody comes in there and just like, hey, you know what? I love everything that you're about. I want to work with you. So a space is a client acquisition tool that kind of markets itself as long as you know what you're selling aligns with who you are. I think
Yes.
then it's also a content machine. I mean, if you have a physical space, you have a constant source for photography, for events, for social content. It's a great networking tool. Now you can start inviting potential new clients, but you could also start inviting architects, builders, other people in the industry. You had mentioned a little bit before about vendors and establishing those kinds of relationships. What's a better way to establish that relationship than by selling their decor?
Yeah.
And accessories, and of course that helps you establish better pricing over time. But I think that what that can also do is you can collaborate with them. That opens the door for collaboration and for brand ambassadorships, and then for getting to reach their audience. So I do think from a marketing perspective, oof, it's great.
Yeah, it's really great. So and that was the main reason I did it in the first place. It was to establish those wholesale accounts with vendors, which when you're opening new accounts with vendors, just to qualify this, with a retail store, you can open accounts with vendors where you have to buy multiple of one item. So like let's say you're opening with a bookseller, for example, and you want these gorgeous cocktail table books for your clients. You've got to order like 10 of the same book to open a wholesale account. Why would you do that unless you have a retail store? So that'll give you, you got to order 30 candles. You have to order $10,000 worth of upholstery. Whatever it is to open that better pricing tier, you can do that as a retailer because you're investing in it as inventory. So that's one thing. The next thing you said events. Yes, I had so many parties when I first started. And you've got to really enjoy hanging out with people. So
Yeah.
I had a party once a month when I opened, probably for the first 5 years. It was a lot. I would have art openings, so I would source like local artists and do like have a new show opening for them. I would
Mhm.
partner with local magazines, like in our case, Houston Magazine or whatever
Yeah.
your modern luxury equivalent is. Partner with them, and they would help me find like the wine sponsor, so I'd have all my
Yeah.
beverages for free, and then they would send it out to their list. Of course, that comes with a print ad buy,
Sure.
but yeah, from a marketing, like if your goal is purely marketing, it is like you can get so much out of it,
Yeah.
so much.
But as you're talking about all this, it sounds like, oof, that's a lot of work. I mean,
A
I mean,
lot
that
of
sounds
work.
like a lot of commitment for you. Did you also bring on a team as well that I mean, that's helping you, you know,
Yes.
help with the retail and help with the
So
store?
before I did that though, it was just me. I opened, it was just me. and I probably got 2 clients before I ever hired somebody,
Yeah.
but that happened fast. So I had an opening party that same month. I had my first client by month 2. So
Wow.
it wasn't like I didn't wait 6 months to get somebody, and it was a good client. Within the first 6 months, I had 4 employees because I had that many clients, and I had one of my best clients that stayed with me. I've done 6 houses for her. Walked in off the street, poking around, seeing what I'm about, was looking for a designer, found me because I had a retail store, and has since been one of my best clients.
Yep.
So, it can't I don't know that it happens for everyone. I'd have to, like, pull other designers with a storefront. But for us, it was huge.
Yeah. So if you're looking at it then from getting a client, it was really valuable to you. You know, like,
Absolutely,
so
100%.
and especially you got a client really quickly.
I had multiple clients really quickly,
Yeah.
because I said yes to everything also,
Yeah.
because I didn't know. But I'd, been working for another firm before I opened my shop and started my firm. So I'd been working for someone else for 2 to 3 years. When I left, I took no clients with me. So I was starting from scratch. I had no clients. I took out a small loan so I could buy inventory and build out the small retail space. So I was really starting from scratch with nothing. And it was just like, this is going to work. There was no alternative.
Right.
This is going to work. This is the approach I'm taking. And here we are 20 years later. So I did only have the retail store though for about 7 years. So after 7 years, the firm was just growing and growing and growing, and it
Mhm.
just didn't make sense to keep the retail operation anymore. We just didn't need it for that marketing
Yeah.
reason. And I had established all my vendor relationships. So we were able to let it go.
Was that your original plan, was to open up the retail store, begin a design business, and eventually let that go, or
No, actually, when I opened it, I hadn't considered ever letting it go.
okay.
It just made financial sense and also time. It takes,
Sure.
like you said, it is a huge time commitment. But and you have to have like a designer that you like, let's say you're building a design team, you're hiring a junior designer, a senior
Yeah.
designer. They don't want to work retail. They're with you
Sure.
to design. So that's a separate role. So you may have to hire a person to be that retail face. And when they don't show up, that's you. Um,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, so
And
I guess
retail
there's
hours kinda suck.
they do, they do. They're your evenings and your weekends. So
Yeah.
that's the risk. I mean, we've talked about a lot of the benefits, and I think that, I mean, for me, the biggest benefit is being able to market your services. Like, it's built-in marketing. I think sometimes it's really
Yes.
difficult to figure out, okay, what is my marketing strategy going to be when I have my website and I have Instagram? It's really limited. But when you have this physical space that you can invite people to, you have this living portfolio, basically. Oh, that's great. But there is a lot of risk associated with that. When we talked about the risk of your time, it has to be a huge energy drain, owning a retail store. I mean, retail is
Yeah,
famously stressful.
it is, and I think there are multiple levels you can open a retail store at. Like, when I opened it, I was open 7 days a week, I think. I was young. I was just like, "Let's go. I'm just gonna live in this place." And I really did, probably for the first 5 years, that it was all encompassing, but I went into it with that mindset. I was obsessed. So, if you're obsessed, great, you can do it. If you're not obsessed, you can still do it. Like, there are different ways to do this, like, there's someone in our community that opened a retail store, and her hours are by appointment or by chance. So she's
Mhm.
not open retail hours, but she's there a lot of the time and working with her team. And so they are open a lot, but
Yeah,
there are
because
no set
it's her
hours.
design studio too, right? Like, that's where she
Correct.
offices.
Yes. Well, and that's the goal. If you're opening a retail store, I would highly encourage you to incorporate your design studio in it because they
Yeah.
need to see, like, your potential client's going to walk in, they're going to look at the candles or whatever you're selling, and then they're going to see your studio in the back and they're going to be like, "Oh, this is amazing. I love this aesthetic of this shop. They can do my house." Like, that is the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have I convinced you to open a retail store?
I've always wanted to own a bookstore. I would do
Oh, a
it
bookstore.
tomorrow.
Ooh, with some tea,
Yeah.
nice teas.
I would love it. But I think
Wanna
that what like, then you get into the concerns of, like, so other risk. Yes, there's the time and the energy drain, but I feel like there's a lot of operational complexity that goes into a retail store. You have many different
Mm.
SKUs, you have a point of sale system, like, you have to
No,
restock things, like, is that not an issue at that
no, I mean, if
size?
you're doing it at a really small scale, no. Like, I don't even remember how I sold things. No idea. I'm pretty sure I hand wrote every price tag.
Whoa.
It wasn't that much stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it really was I had a handful of upholstery pieces that were very custom so that, people could see my aesthetic. It wasn't just like it didn't look like something you buy at Restoration Hardware, obviously, like, that's not what we look like. It was very customized and kind of loud and attention grabbing, and then just, like, accessories, art, it was really simple. I kept it very simple. Um I guess if you're, like, planning to scale your retail, yeah, you would need a POS and all of that, but I was operating off a laptop and some handwritten price ta Honestly, like, for me, like I said, I was using it as a marketing vehicle,
Yeah.
not as a money-making operation.
Right. Well, and your team too, you said, like, designers don't want to work in the real retail store.
No.
Overhead is a big deal, right? With retail, you have to pay your people. Was your staff mostly people who worked just the retail, or were they also designers, or how did that
I
work?
had one person that worked retail, but
Okay.
she also helped with design assistant things because, like, the retail portion of it was so minimal that
Yeah.
she was able to help with being a design assistant. She was not a designer, though. She had a retail background. And then I
Okay.
had my design team, which was separate,
Right. And they're
totally
billing
separate.
hourly, so they're taking care of their salaries, right? Like a little plug for
Well, at
that.
that time, they weren't because I was 60, but I had since learned my
Uh,
lesson, but
right.
yes. But yeah, I mean, even the person that was running the retail and was helping with, like, the sales and the clients that came in, she still could bill for her time because she was helping with design assistant things. I mean, we would have, like, a couple people in the shop at a time. It wasn't like a barrage of people. It was pretty simple.
Yeah. Okay. So if you are a designer and you're thinking, okay, I do want to open up a retail store and you're thinking about all these things, what are the questions that you really need to ask yourself to determine, okay, this is right for me? Or you know what? Maybe this is just the shiny new thing and I need to lock in somewhere else.
Ugh. Um, I would say, how much time can you commit? Because it is a lot of work.
Um,
What's your location look like? Because a better location can be expensive. And if you're gonna go in an off the beaten path area, it may not be worth it from a marketing
mm,
standpoint. You need to be visible. Um, so I would wonder how much you're willing to invest. Um, yeah, those are the 2 big ones. Like, are you willing to take out a loan to buy inventory
yeah.
to outfit the space and then have some, runway for operating for at least a few months until you can get excellent clients.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so how much risk are you willing to take? Um, it can have like, bigger risk, bigger reward, right? Like, I did it
Absolutely.
a long time ago, but I also looked on a main street, took a really small space, which was excellent for me because I could outfit it to, like, a T, like, it was perfectly built out because it was small. And
Yeah.
so, like, the bigger the space, I think the harder it is.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So, but yes, those are the questions I would ask.
Okay.
From an operator standpoint, Melissa, what would you
Yeah.
ask?
Can I make money doing this? Is this worth my time? Like, can I, like, what? And again, I think about it always just from why do I want to do this? Like, why
Mhm.
why do I want to do this? And I always think that just from a marketing perspective as well. Like, do I have a good reason for doing it? Because this would be fun is not a good reason.
No,
Or
because, like, after the
this
first couple weeks, it's not fun.
right, exactly. Or, oh, I see everybody
It
else
is.
doing this. I feel like I need to do it too. Never a good reason, right? To
No.
do anything. Or, oh, this is just another space that I can design. I mean, those are like secondary, tertiary kind of reasons to do it. So I mean, for me, it would have to be, does this work in my market where like people feel that in order for me to establish myself as a tastemaker, to establish myself as a really good designer, I need to have a retail space because I do think that you do. And I mean, obviously, you're a testament to that. Like that's why we are what we are now. 20 years later. And I think also too the lead generation. Bringing clients in and that marketing piece, I think, is just so key. I often dream about us having a really nice retail location. We looked at places that were next to retail locations just to have a party in them, and that's not a great reason, but
No, and we decided at this point in our firm, we're not doing that.
right,
Because, like, when you sit with the reality and you're like, "Oh, and then we have to have events," like, "Ew, I don't wanna do that anymore, I'm tired."
right.
I'll go to someone else's party, like, I don't wanna have my own party. But, yeah, I think that that's a good point, and research your market. What other successful designers are operating in your market already that have successful retail stores?
Hmm.
I mean, like, LA is a good example. There are so many interior designers that have a very solid retail store. But
Yep.
even look at like Martin Lawrence Bullard, his retail store is small. I mean, it is packed to the gills with things that represent his aesthetic, but it's small. So I think, yeah, just do some research and see who's killing it in your market.
Yeah. Yeah, because we have a few designers who do it here in Houston. They have
We do.
great little
Yeah.
shops.
And they're excellent.
Yeah.
I wonder what they would say. Like, once you really get behind the scenes, like, would they be like, God, this sucks?
Just like, never do it again.
7 years in, I'm out. But you could plan it that way. Hey, this is a launch pad for me. I'm gonna run this for 5 years, and then that's it.
Yep. Yeah,
Um,
that works too.
yeah. But, oh, here's a good another point, just really quick, and then we'll sign off on this. Look at the length of the lease because they can be long. Your landlord will ask for a long
Right.
time. My first lease was 3 years. I stayed in that space for 10 because it worked out. But 3 years was the length of the first lease, and that's what I felt comfortable with. A lot of landlords will ask for 5
They'll
or
want
10
at
years.
least 5. Yeah.
Yep, so you can negotiate 3, I think.
Yep.
So just keep that in mind. That's it. All
Okay.
right, good topic. Let us know if you open a store. Would love to hear it.
Right.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you for listening. Make sure to check out our next podcast, coming live next week on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. In the meantime, you can find us and more wonderful stories like these on designdash.com. And make sure to follow us at Design Dasher on Instagram and TikTok. Till next time.